In the last video, we drew a multi-view drawing for object number 1 on your assignment to draw multi-views in the AutoCAD app. Now we're going to start drawing the multi-view for drawing number 3. So this is where we left before with the layout for the first drawing. Now we're going to go back to model space. So this is the first drawing, this will be the next. So this is object number 3. The front view for this object is going to be pretty simple. We're going to have this rectangle in the middle, squares on either side, and then we will have a hidden line to show where the geometry changes behind this block. So let's start by drawing this rectangle. And when I look on the drawing, I believe I see that it is 1 inch wide and 0.75 high. So go to draw, hit line. I'm going to slide it over so that block doesn't hinder me. Line, I'm going to draw 1, enter. 0.75, enter, go over 1, enter, and down to the beginning. And when I see that green square, I'll know I am snapping to the end point. Just in case you haven't double checked, be sure that you have the snap-on and the ortho. So you see that because it's light gray behind. Now we're going to draw a square on the side. So that square is 0.5. Once more, take a line. Go to the right, 0.5. Up 0.5. It's over 0.5, but we really don't have to measure it because we have the perpendicular snap-on, it will snap just where it needs to. And now I can hit escape to get out of that tool. The next thing I'm going to do is to mirror this square because I need one just like it on the other side, and that's the easiest way to get one. Go to modify, hit mirror. I only want to get these 3 lines, so I'm going to be careful not to get that one. I don't want to mirror that one too. So I'm going to left click and drag up and just select those 3 lines. I'm going to confirm selection. I'm going to hit the midpoint. See, I see a triangle when I hit the midpoint, and then bring it over. And I might need to slide up some. So you just move your cursor until you see where it wants to be. See, it can mirror down or it can mirror over. So when it's where you want it to be, click. And then you have to choose to erase source objects or not. And we do not want to because we want both of those. The only thing we have left to do here is to add that hidden line. So that's easy. We go to draw, line, hit the end point and the end point. But now we have to change this to look like a hidden line. I'm zooming in so I can see it better. I'm selecting that one line. I'm going over to properties. I'm selecting line type and I'm going to click dashed. The dash scale is too big, just like it was last time. Last time we changed it to 0.5, but I think we could have done better. So I'm changing this one to 0.25. And I didn't do that somehow, so let me try again. 0.25, enter. Okay, so that scale is very good for this size drawing. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull this down some because I've got it just a little bit too close to this up here. So I'm going to hit move and slide it down some. You may have put yours in a good spot, but I think that's going to look better and give me room for my projection lines to not interfere with anything else. And I'm having trouble making it click because I'm getting in the way of this box. So I'm zooming out some, and now it should be fine. Okay, so the top view is going to be, once more, 3 more rectangles, 2 small ones on either side of a large one. So let's project some lines. Draw, line, going to start from that corner and come up, from the next point and come up, and the next, and the next. And then, so that these lines are not as visible, I'm going to make them yellow. We'll see them fairly well here, but we will not see them very well when we go to paper space and the background is white. So first let's select them. I'm going to hit the left button and hold it and drag until I get just the projection lines. Go over to the Properties panel. On the color, I'm going to click here and choose yellow and escape. Now let's start drawing the little rectangle here. So I'm going to start with a line and draw right here. Go over to the next line. See, I'm seeing that perpendicular sign, the little L. Now I'm going to go up 0.2. So that's not a measurement that I can project. That's a depth measurement. And then I'm going to come over here until it's perpendicular again. And then I'm going to come down until the end point. I'll see a square and click. Now I hit escape to get out of it. I'll zoom in and make sure that I did a good job. Okay, so now I've got the one rectangle and I need another one just like it. And I know that that rectangle is, let's see, it is exactly 1 inch apart. So what I'm going to do is copy this, move it 1 inch plus the depth of this. Otherwise, there will be less than 1 inch between them. So I'm going to modify, copy, and this time I'm going to go from left to right, because remember, when you go from left to right, you only get the objects that you get in their entirety. So be sure you pick all 4 of those lines, then confirm selection, click anywhere, bring it up, 1.2, enter, escape. Now all we have to do is to fill out the 2 ends of this rectangle, and we know exactly where all the measurements will be because of the we've already got the depth measurement here, and the width measurements we'll get with our projection lines. So go to draw, line. I'm going to start here on the corner, so I'll see a square because it's an endpoint. I'm going to go this way until I see the L that tells me I'm perpendicular. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And now I'm going to just keep going. And if I want to, I can repeat this process on the other side, or I could do a mirror. And I think I'm going to do a mirror just because that's a little faster. So mirror, and I'm going to select these one at the time. I'm going to hit shift just because if you just got a few and there are a lot of things you could kind of get by accident, sometimes that's the best way. Confirm selection, hit the midpoint, and then bring it over. And then remember, you have to click no, do not erase source objects. Now we have the top view done. Let's start working on the side view. So we have a lot of projection lines to send over. Let's start with the easy ones. We'll do the height lines. So go to draw, line, start at the bottom. So we'll have 3 lines here. We have 3 different height measurements we're projecting. Okay, now I'm going to start on the bottom of this one. I'm going to come out just a little bit, just a little space between them. I'm going to click and I'm going to go straight down. But now to get to know how far these are going to be, remember we have to do our 45-degree angle. If you haven't checked to make sure your polar is right, come over here to polar, click the arrow, and you'll see 45. That's what we want it to be. So when it's set at 45, when we start at this point and we take it out, oh, the reason it's not working is because I have ortho on. I have to turn ortho off to make this work. So I'm going to move it until I see it turn green. Why isn't it turning green? Okay, did I turn, accidentally I turned polar off. See, so now it should work. See, now it's green. So I'm just going to pull it up there. Make sure I have enough. Now I'm going to project every one of these lines over. Okay, if you set it so that you can hit the intersection and have it snap, that could work. Right now, actually, no, it's not an intersection. Right now, it's probably not going to be an easy way to do it. If we turn ortho on and came over, I guess that would work. So the little symbol that you're seeing there is nearest, but no, that works. So if you've got ortho on, you can use the nearest and then just come down and not have to draw too many lines. Let's see if that works again. I'm going to zoom in just to make sure. Yeah, that's working nicely. Okay, it's going to be a problem up here though because our multi-view's in the way. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to kind of take it out past so it won't snap to anything. And then I'm going to come up here and snap to this intersection. See how it says intersection? And if yours doesn't do that, it's because your snap is not set that way. See, so double check your snaps by clicking this button. And for some reason it's not wanting to do it now. Maybe because I'm in the middle of a command. We'll come back to that. I don't know why it's not working. Sometimes it's just the connection since this is online. You know what? I've just noticed something. This is not straight, so this is wrong. I'm going to have to take that out. So what I'm going to do here is it didn't snap just where I wanted it to. Turning the snap back on. So I'm just going to take it past everything like I did before. It's always good just to kind of scroll out and take a look to make sure that there aren't any obvious mistakes going on. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit and I'm going to turn all my projection lines yellow. So I'm going to grab the ones at the bottom first. Well, the ones I can get, I'm not going to be careful not to touch the isometric. Do those. Come over here, color, yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so it'll be easier. I'm going to click here and then come up, and I should be able to get them all like that. So change the color to yellow. Okay, so all my projection lines are yellow. Now let's do the end. This one is really easy. So what we're going to do here is draw a rectangle here and a rectangle there and then one in the middle. And all of our dimensions should be here, so I am going to draw with a rectangle right here to here, making sure that I'm snapping to those intersections, there and there. Now I could do another rectangle, but if I did that, I would have two lines on top of each other, and that's not good. So instead, I'm just drawing single lines. Notice how I'm hitting the intersections. Okay, and there are no hidden lines on this one. So let's go look at what we've drawn in Paperspace. So go to Views, and now I'm going to check Layout 2. So right now I don't see anything in it. Yours might look different. But what I'm going to have to do, well, I'm already in model space, which is good. If you weren't, like if I want to get to Paperspace, I'm going to click up here twice. See, now I'm Paperspace. But if I want to get to model space, I double click twice, and now I can zoom and have this drawing